Greetings to you from wherever you are hearing my voice from. And today, I want to continue on the topic I started some time ago. And the topic is, did Jesus die for the sins of the world? This is part 2. Now, when Jesus was on earth, he said that his reason for coming down on earth is for him to do the will of him that sent him. You will see that in the book of John 6:38, where Jesus said, I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. Now, the will of the Father refers to his commandments. Jesus meant that he would never contradict the will of God. Now, the reason he came on earth was for him to do the will of God, to do God's commandment. Okay, let us see from the scripture if God's will supports a person to die for the sins of others. Let us see if the will of God Jesus came to do supports a person to die for the sins of others. You know, Christianity has been teaching this doctrine for a long time, that Jesus died for the sins of the world, that he shed his blood for the ransom of the sins of men. But this is not so. Let us confirm from the scripture if God's will supports a person to die for the sins of others. First of all, let us see the book of Deuteronomy 24, verse 16. It says, fathers shall not be put to death for their children, nor shall children be put to death for their fathers. A person shall be put to death for his own sin. This is the will of God. God said that fathers shall not be put to death for the sins of their children, nor the children put to death for the sins of their fathers. Rather, everyone shall be put to death for their own sin. This is the will of God, which Jesus came to do on earth. Now, let me also take you to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18. Or before that, let us see the book of Jeremiah 31, verse 30. The book of Jeremiah 31, verse 30 has this to say, but everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man who eats the sour grapes, his teeth shall be set on edge. It says, but everyone shall die for his own iniquity. So you can see that Jesus never died for the sin of anyone. It is against the will of God. Okay, let me also take you to the book of Ezekiel 18, verse 20. The book of Ezekiel 18, verse 20 says, the soul whose sins shall die, the son shall not bear the guilt of the father, nor the father bear the guilt of the son. I didn't finish it. Just go and read this place for yourself. You can see that the will of God is against one dying for the sins of others. So Jesus never died for the sins of the world. If he had done that, it means that he contradicted the will of God which he came to do. Remember, he said in the book of John 6:38 that he came on earth to do the will of his Father. So, and we have seen that the will of the Father is against one dying for the sins of others. If Jesus had died for the sins of the world, it means that he contradicted the will of God that he came to earth to do. He never died for the sins of the world. Thank you for listening.